Um, okay. Because met Engels hou, obviously. So, you see the stream yet? Sweet. Okay. So, welcome. Lug number one. Yeah. So, tell me about you. Who are you? And, yeah. Centerwest. Is, is it still running? No issues. Okay, what was your experience like for the first time working with it? Yeah, and it's also about just learning how everything fits together. And the best way is to play and stall and break and try different things. What are you going to use that for?
Name server slash DHCP. I don't know if I'm going to do the DHCP and then the mail server.
You are going to hate me. I
Mm.
don't think I got any of your audio. But since this is the first meeting, that's fine. So basically, what you said is you're new to it. You installed CentOS 7. We battled with that a bit, getting Nextcloud running. Then you moved to Ubuntu. The reason we moved to Ubuntu is to use the Snap, the Nextcloud Snap.
Oh, yes, yes. That's why.
Yes, and so that's a bit easier. Just to get so my Nextcloud I'm running on a Pi, so it's also just actually no, mine's on a Docker image. My previous one was directly on the S, SD card, just with Nextcloud. Now I'm running it on a Docker container. So you said the new one. What version? What flavor of Linux do you want to try?
Well, I don't know. See, I'm still like new to it. So I don't know. I'm open for suggestions. What would be the best to actually run? So, see, the thing is I understand, like DNS and that kind of stuff is actually quite light on resources. So it's not that I have like a 20,000 computer network. It's more like five, if it's that many.
Uh,
But yeah, so that's the idea of getting that all set up, see how that actually all fits together, how it works, and what the challenges will be, I guess.
okay. Yeah, I can't say that there's a best. I think it's that's what I like about this whole Linux and open source thing is it's not necessarily a best. It's what works for you, right?
Yeah.
What I always use the example of my workflow. I'm just a lot more productive on Linux, but I'm more productive on certain flavors and desktop, flavors than others. Um, so yeah, you need to play and see what works for you. You've played a bit with CentOS. You've played a bit with
Mm-hmm.
Ubuntu. There's Debian, so Ubuntu is obviously based on Debian. So Debian's upstream, they call it.
Mm-hmm.
CentOS is like Red Hat and RPM based, and the way it works is a lot like Red Hat. Rocky
Okay.
Linux that we're going to install tonight is also a fork of the CentOS
Yes.
version, so like a lot like Red Hat. So if you know, so the reason I started playing with CentOS is I wanted at one stage to look into maybe getting certified in Red Hat. So the obvious choice is to start using CentOS. I actually like it for the file server; it works well. But Ubuntu, I like Ubuntu a lot. So my desktop's Ubuntu based.
Okay.
My laptop is Manjaro, which is Arch based. It's completely different as well. Just because I wanted to experience it and see how. And that's actually, yeah, it's difficult to say. I don't have a favorite. I think if I have to say favorite is Pop OS because it's just so easy to set up for games. Just install the game, right?
if if the game supports it.
Most of them do. Most of them do. So it's not a mission to install an NVIDIA driver anymore. It's not. It's so easy. It's install Steam, install Lutris, and you go.
Okay, and how does it operate with the AMD cards?
Um, Not an AMD guy, so I haven't tested it. We should test it maybe with your machine one day. We have some
Okay.
cache and we can dump another disk in there. Should be
Yeah.
fun. I see on the Telegram groups and forums and stuff. Looks like the guys are very pro AMD. The
Mm.
Linux, so what I've seen is the Linux community was very anti NVIDIA for a long time.
Oh,
And
okay.
because of the open source stuff, NVIDIA didn't really give them the support. And I'm not 100% sure, but I know there's a famous video of Linus Torvalds where he gives a middle finger to NVIDIA, telling them, no, that's F off. But it's so much better now. Well, the driver support. I remember I used Elementary OS,
Mhm.
which is very nice. It's actually a very, very nice distribution, but it wasn't a straightforward just get going, like installing the driver and getting Steam going, and some things just you had to do a few more things, or you had to install a few more things to get something running. Where with Pop OS, it's just you get that Windows feel almost where it usually just works. Actually, for
Okay,
me,
good.
it works better than Windows.
Yep.
That's me. Yeah, so yeah, if you get that new disk, we can check. Maybe try Debian, Debian as a server.
Mm-hmm.
Um, tried CentOS, Ubuntu. You've tried. There's a few things in Ubuntu I don't like that much, server side, and then there's other things I like. We can do that in another episode.
Okay.
But as I said, it's like chocolate. Like everyone likes chocolate. Most people like chocolate, but some people like white chocolate, some dark chocolate, and normal chocolate. Chocolate with nuts and
It's I like the ones with the nuts.
exactly. So and the way you open the wrapper is different or whatever. It's yeah. So it's in the beginning. I used to when I started. Yeah, I think actually my first ever time I installed Linux was a Red Hat version. I wanted to Google what year that was, but I forgot. I think it was about 99 or 2000. I think it was version 2 or 3 of Red Hat. I just found it at work, and I think it took me 2 or 3 weeks to get the thing installed and working.
Oh, fantastic.
And then, because I don't have a clue what it was, I don't know what was Linux or what was, because I all grew up with DOS and Windows.
Yes.
Probably It was must have been 99,
Okay, so yeah,
2000s.
that was before we even met.
Yes, yes, yeah, a few years before we met. And then we used to get those magazines. It was a PC format,
Yes, yes, and you get the disc with
the
it.
disc, and sometimes they had like a Linux disk. I think it was called Mandriva. I think it
Uh,
was a Mandriva version. There was another one which it was. I remember Open Office on one of the discs, but there was a wasn't Oracle Linux. It was something like that. It was like a famous brand name Linux at the time. It was can't remember the name now. I don't think it was based on Slack. I can't remember. I remember installing that on my machine, and then I got it installed. It was straightforward, but then I didn't know what to do. I had a GUI, had GNOME running, but
okay.
then I was like, okay, there's all these weird applications. I don't know. Yeah, and then for a long time, I kind of not forgot about it, but didn't play with it because you're playing games and
Yes.
you work in a Microsoft shop. And yeah, then it was a few years back, probably 5, 6 years ago. I started looking into it again, and it was Linux, Ubuntu, obviously Ubuntu. I don't know if you're the same, but Ubuntu drew me because Mark Shuttleworth's from South Africa. So I thought, oh, it has to be good, right?
Yeah, well,
It
he's
still
like
is.
he was like a main guy you looked up to, especially
Those
being
years,
him
yeah.
being a South African and all the things he accomplished.
I remember at
So
work, we had these machines, looked like little ATMs. You could put a CD in, and you can choose which version of Linux. There was Ubuntu, and there was two other versions. I think probably Debian, and I don't know what else. And it will burn you a copy of Linux for free.
yeah, for Mahala.
So we had a few of these machines on the campus. So I think it was like 20 bucks for a CD at the time, writable, and got one. And
Was it that
it
expensive?
was
I'm sure it wasn't.
expensive. That was expensive still. And then I can't remember if I had a rewritable one. And then first it didn't work. I had to go back and figure out, and then I got it like written properly, and that was Ubuntu. Played a bit with that, and then I tried Linux Mint. Mostly the Ubuntu-based distros I've been playing with on desktop.
Oh, okay. But it sounds like you actually in this game for quite some time now.
It's just as a hobby, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Just
Just
playing,
playing around,
tinkering.
not really digging deep into all the mechanics, etc.
Last 2 years maybe I've been starting to really dig deep into it.
Oh, okay.
It's because I'm interested. But I mean, then the Raspberry Pis came out, right? And
Mm-hmm.
that changed it. I mean, now it's so easy to just test stuff on it, and it's cheap enough. It wasn't like the olden days where you had to pay a lot of money for a disc. It's still expensive, but those days it was like really expensive.
Yeah.
And dual booting was a mission to get running because now you've
Oh,
got your Windows
yes.
machine, you've got all your games on there, and you want to play with Linux, and then you stuff up your Windows machine because you couldn't figure out how to dual boot. It's a lot easier today. I think that's why
Yeah.
I started this Linux user group because you showed interest now, and I'm trying to show actually how easy it is now.
Oh, well, it is easy if you know what you're doing. If you don't know what's going on, it can be quite daunting.
Yeah, but it's the same as someone the first time you worked in DOS or the first time you saw Windows.
No, that was easy because you know exactly you want to play Airwolf and you know exactly
No, but the
put in your
first
floppy
time
drive and you knew where the drive was. No, you
you
learned that
still had to figure
so
out
quickly.
stuff, right?
Yeah, no, true, true.
Yeah, no, no, I'm glad you playing with it and all that. Let's start this install because that took me a while. I tested.
Okay, awesome. It's gonna be interesting.
If I can spell. Let's create a new. So I'm supposed to, well, do documentation in Afrikaans for Rocky Linux, but I started.
Okay.
I've got a long way to go. I don't expect it to be that much work. So it's more the documentation side. It's not translation like you'll see these Afrikaans. Pardon me, option.
Okay.
Somewhere.
Yes, yes, I saw with Ubuntu as well. There was an option for Afrikaans.
Yeah, it's well, not documented, but I mean, I've tried Afrikaans. I
It's
could
very difficult.
I could not figure out where to go.
I know you're so used to English as the main language of instruction with regards to when it comes to IT. It's like, especially because I actually struggled in school when we had computer studies
Oh yeah,
to do it in Afrikaans. I didn't understand what the hell they meant by megagrip, for instance. It's like, what the hell is that? What is a grip?
yeah. It's like what's he on about?
Okay, just for megagrip is a megabyte. So grip is a byte.
I don't even know that.
Yeah, well, it took me a while, but that was one of the easy ones.
Oh, I'd say okay. Rocky Linux 8.
Mhm.
Install Rocky Linux 8.
There we go.
Yeah, the Afrikaans does not work in computer science. I made a mistake in varsity my first year when I started the BCom informatics. Just miscode
Okay.
that check. I chose one of the computer science or the computer related subjects in Afrikaans, and oh my word,
Mhm.
it was a very big mistake. It was programming as well. Okay, cool. I think we're just going to do a minute. Well, we can probably do. Let's do the minimal install, I suppose, because it will. The GUI will just be. You can choose. We can check the options on. I think when I tested, it was just GNOME. So here's your Afrikaans. I'm not going to do Afrikaans. I put Firefox in Afrikaans once as well. That was a mess because I couldn't figure out how to change it back. I couldn't remember where I clicked. Yeah, it's bad because it's these high like level Afrikaans words which no one uses. Like
Yeah.
to save something, stoer. I'm like, who the hell uses stoer?
But remember,
Use
store
a
can also means building where you
exactly. Okay,
place, well, store stuff.
this is unstable pre-release software, so do not install this production. Um, yeah, no, Afrikaans does not really work. It's nice if you
Yeah,
can have.
it's nice to have. Yes, nice to have.
I'm just gonna do normal. I'm not gonna do any fancy partitioning or anything. I'm just gonna let it do its thing. I remember when I started. Yes, you used to Google and go, oh, okay, you have to create the root partition, and it's the boot partition, and then you've got your home partition, and you used to build it out like that. And I'm over that now. I'm not doing that. I haven't done that for a while. A lot of people will probably shout at me. Let's just give it a root password. Super secret password.
There we go. Super strong.
Code password. It actually took it. They should not let you do that. Not allow. Password of password. Yes, selection. So yeah, so we can choose GNOME as the desktop environment.
Okay.
I do not see KDE. Okay.
KDE. What is KDE?
So we'll get to that in the next. It's a desktop environment. So you get different desktop
Ah,
environments. So probably the easiest to test, right, in virtual machines is Ubuntu.
mm-hmm.
We'll go to the website.
Okay.
I'll show you. They've got different versions. You've got the KDE Kubuntu. It's the KDE desktop. You've got
Oh yes, yes, yes. I think I saw
Zubuntu, Lubuntu, and they're all
I saw
different.
I saw something similar with the CentOS installation.
It's going to do a standard. So yeah, you see, here's your DHCP, and then DNS. Don't shoot me if I'm wrong.
Are you
If you
streaming
see,
the installation at the moment?
oh no, I must switch my
Mm,
window. Thanks for picking that up.
yeah.
For DNS, it will be the bind services, if I remember
Yes,
correctly.
yes, I remember the bind, yes.
Don't know if they call it DNS now. Okay,
Well, they don't call it, they just call it name server.
name server.
Yeah.
Okay, I like this Rocky Linux on the side. It looks a lot like the CentOS install, right?
Okay.
I mean, it's based off. It's a fork essentially.
Well, it looks similar to the Ubuntu and the
So that's the
CentOS.
cool thing about all this is you can use different pieces. So if you decide you want to create your own distribution, you can use pieces that you like most, right? That's what I like
Okay.
about all this. Is look, I'm not that technical. I'm not going to do my own roll my own release, my own distribution. But that's what's so cool. So now you can decide. Oh, okay, I don't like this installer. I like Ubuntu's installer, but I want to use this packaging system. So I want to use a DNF and as the package, or Pacman as a package system, and the this or that or this desktop
Okay.
environment. Blah blah blah. There to me. Just do this quickly. Open another browser, so make sure what we see here. Yeah, there's some stuff I don't want to show the whole world. Okay. So what I like, so this whole thing about this user group I want to start, because that's the cool thing, is to show things that you found and share it. And so I don't know everything, right?
Well, the person who says he knows everything is a liar.
No, definitely. Okay, cool. So let's go to download. I've got the stream on the other screen. I didn't even notice I didn't have it running. Ubuntu desktop. I'm actually running Ubuntu on my one Pi. Which one is it? Can't remember which one.
Isn't the one that says Ubuntu on Raspberry Pi?
Yeah, I mean, I can't remember which one my Pi I'm running it on. I think
Yeah,
it's
you've got like 20 pies there.
not that many. So where's the flavors? Am I blind? Ubuntu flavors, I am blind. So this is what's so cool. So what I would suggest, right, is go download these all and run them in a virtual machine, see what you like, which desktop environment you like.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when I started with Ubuntu, they had the Unity desktop. They've now switched to the GNOME desktop, which is the same as like what I'm running on this machine. So Ubuntu's KDE. So let's see
Okay.
if I go KDE. Let me just. So you'll see it's got this like a start menu, like they call it. I don't know what they call it in Linux. So now they don't call it the Windows key; they call it the super key. You press the super key, and
The
GNOME does
super key.
this, and you can get your stuff on the side or type. That's the cool thing is there's so many different ways of doing it that you can choose and customize. Right. So this is what it looks like. It's got this like menu
Okay,
system pops up.
basically it just
Windows
looked like Windows, yes.
Windows like, not it's better. I ran KDE for a while, so it's actually quite nice. This one's to me a very beautiful operating system.
Okay, well, I must probably have to have a
So
look
this is
at
elementary. So
these
you've got your
things.
applications up there, and it comes down here. A lot of people call this a Mac-esque kind of. And the guys do a lot of very good, cool stuff on this OS. I moved to Pop OS just because of just the gaming stuff. It's just so much easier and quicker to do. What was the budgie? Actually, I don't think I've actually seen what it looks like. Budgie. There's a budgie desktop in Ubuntu, right?
Apache.
So they all run on Ubuntu as a base, and the desktop
Okay.
environments are different, right?
Okay. I see.
So yeah, for desktop, go play and see which Ubuntu Mate's very popular. I'm not
Okay.
sure. I can't remember how they pronounce it. Ubuntu Studio, that's actually something I think they've kind of revived or came alive again a while back. This is pretty cool. I tried this along with the band stuff.
Oh, yes.
So basically, it's like a comes packaged with like studio software, right? Open source studio software. You've got your stuff like Audacity and your video editing stuff and recording stuff, and
Mm-hmm.
this is very cool. And then you've got your XFCE desktop. Plasma is the KDE Plasma desktop. So you get two different desktop environments. So that's what's so cool about all this, man. It's like, but play with it, download, play, see what you like.
Yeah, it's
It's the same with
actually
the service, right? If you don't use it for work,
yeah.
so it's gonna
Yeah,
be
this
cool.
is hopefully one day when the hardware prices actually stabilize and come back to normal, which I seriously doubt. Then yeah, I actually want to build a, just for myself, that I can play around with, like a system, just for well, for Linux, and have like multiple VMs running on it, so I can test different um options.
I still do that all the time. I've got VirtualBox and I test stuff and I play stuff, and I'm looking at
Yes.
Ansible for home just to make life a bit easier. We'll get to that in another lug. But the other thing that a lot of Linux people do also share is that it just runs great on old hardware.
On old hardware.
And it does. I've my old laptop gave to my mom and I installed Windows on it. And
And yeah, it was a nightmare.
about 2-3 months later, that thing was dog slow, and I couldn't guess. And this thing was taking forever to boot up, and it was just extremely slow. And it was never that slow, but and it's not a powerful laptop, but obviously I ran Linux on it. Oh, there we go, complete. And I decided I'm not going to battle with the thing, and I just reinstalled Windows on it. And go back, was fine for a few weeks again. It was just dog slow. And suddenly certain stuff just stopped working. I was going to reboot, yeah. And so I decided I've had enough. And I asked my mom, what do you use it for? No, it's just for banking, emails, and internet. And I'm like, okay, can I install Linux on there? And she was like, oh no, that's fine. She'll give it a bash. And I installed, I think Pop OS on there. Or Linux Mint. I think it was Pop OS. And it's not old. It's not like I'm installing an old version of the OS, right? It's the latest, greatest, up-to-date one, and that thing is flying.
I don't know. That's pretty impressive. I just want to log into into mine, because I checked the what's the name? What do you call it?
Did we even call
What's
this
your,
thing?
yeah?
I don't think I created the user. Did I?
And
I don't think so.
the Rocky Mountains in the back. I don't know why they call it the Rocky Mountains. Aren't all mountains rocky?
Because it's rocky. I don't know. Rockier than All right. So, uh, yeah, here we go. I don't think we can do an update yet.
No, you can always check. Yeah, but you see, the thing is with Windows now, you need at least like 4 gigs just for the operating system. Okay, I'm exaggerating, but still, um, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. No, no, true. Well, on this Ubuntu server I've got, the system load is like 0.02. The memory usage is 30%. So that's 30% of 4 gigs.
That's not.
So yeah, it's not bad,
That's
and
not
there's
too
like
bad.
204 processes running. Yeah. Well, we haven't had any issues, but okay, but we also haven't used it intensely.
Did you say 204 processes?
Yeah,
How did you get to 204 processes?
I don't know.
Processes, not processes.
No, hell no. This is a quad core with
I thought you said
HD. No,
processor.
no, no, processors.
I'm like, holy crap, dude.
No, no, dude, I'm running like a couple of epic.
You worried about disk?
Oh no. Definitely. Just getting around the basic stuff. Once you get that under the belt, it's a, it should be a breeze, I guess.
And there's so much to learn. Like, look, it can get hectic if you really wanted to. But I think the key is read about stuff. Just read the blogs, like the interesting ones, and join the like I'm on that Jupiter Broadcasting Telegram group. And there's a lot of chit chat and stuff, and nice people, and a lot of folks would come and say, "Oh, I've got this issue," and people will start giving advice and helping out, and just reading all that stuff, going, "Holy crap! Okay, that's cool. I didn't know you can do that." Or, "Oh, that's how you do something. I've wanted to, but I've never looked into it." And listen
But
to
but you know,
podcasts, and you learn so much just by reading and listening, like maybe 10, 15 minutes a day.
you see the thing that actually grabbed me, I think, the most with Linux is the community. It's not like all these like snobs, and they don't want to tell you anything. And if you try and do get something out of someone, for instance, like from like the Windows version, everyone's just like, no, I'm not going to tell you. Can Google it, or you must pay me, or that kind of stuff.
You
Now,
get
we
FTPs, don't get me wrong.
yeah, no, true, but Googling for something Linux-wise, I thought it was going to be a mission,
Oh no,
and normally it's like the first hit on the first page is exactly what you're looking for.
yeah. And I mean, my
So
day
I was actually shocked. I thought it's like this can't be
it's
true.
awesome. It is so, and it's almost it's 90% the exact same issue that you're having.
Exactly.
Where my day job, it's a mission to search for stuff. Firstly, the errors I receive most of the time don't mean jack, right? Try and Google that. I mean, the crap you get back, and then some of the answers Oh my word, this stuff. And luckily, because I've been doing my job for so long, I can see. Okay, wait a minute, dude. You can't do that. You're crazy. How are you telling people to do this? You can break their systems.
Yeah.
You know. But no, that's the other thing. Is the community is huge. I mean, and like you say, I haven't. I've had a very good time. Awesome people. Everyone's passionate about it, and that's the thing. When there's passion, it does get heated a lot of the times,
Hmm.
right?
Yes, no, definitely.
But that's cool because people are passionate, right? And they want. I don't want to be the guy that forces people to do. Oh, you have to run Linux or you have to use open source. Yes, I want you to. I'd love it if you do, and you can
I know. You see,
share my excitement, my passion. And sometimes it comes across maybe
yeah, no, no.
you
You,
have to,
you,
you suck.
but see, you also need to remember a couple of times, like, so when you're getting Linux, come, let's install Linux.
No, just want to share it, right?
Yeah, but little too much is also not a good
No, it's
thing.
not, and it happens a lot, right? Because
Yes.
people are passionate. But my gripe, don't come and say, "Oh, this and that" about something that actually haven't even tried.
Yeah, no, true. But that pertains to anything.
And that irks me a lot.
Yep.
And we've got friends that like, oh, Linux and oh, open source sucks. Have you even tried it? No, you haven't.
Yeah,
You
but
never installed. Okay, they've probably installed open source software. But I mean,
yeah, but like I'm saying, it's not. You must probably just take it up the wrong way. Maybe it's just a joke.
no, no, it's
Yeah.
not. It's people's
Mhm.
perception, and it's like, okay, it's
Yeah.
fine. It's fanboyism everywhere, but I'm not gonna go and say, oh, I think AMD cards suck. No, because I've never used one. I'm not
That's
a big
true.
fan of AMD processors because I got burned actually three times.
No,
A
you need
long time
to.
ago, but
Yes, no, it's true. And also when they lied about the amount of processors that, they had.
and stuff like that irks me. But at least I can say, well, I used it and I didn't like the experience I had. Yes, it was a long
Mm.
time ago, but it's the same. You drive a certain make of car and you have a lot of crap with it.
Well,
You're
you
not
know,
gonna buy that make again, probably, right?
to come back now to the AMD thing, I always used to be an AMD fan, big fan, fanboy almost. And the things I had that AMD, when the AMD Durons were out, so it was like the Celeron equivalent back then. And that thing used to overclock like you won't believe. And it was a machine. It crafted. I was performing the same as your premium processor. Okay, obviously not perfectly, but it managed to do what I needed to do. And obviously, then I decided after that exercise, when the machine died and everything, I was out of computer games. So I didn't have a PC for how long? How long was it? I think it was like almost 10 years. I didn't have a PC at home. Yeah,
I'm not sure. Yeah, it was quite a
it
long
was,
time.
it was quite a long time. And so then when I finally decided to upgrade my system, well, get a new system. Um, went for the cheapest I could get, the most cores I could get. I knew it wasn't the fastest processor out there, but 8 cores, 16 threads, new motherboard, new RAM. All in all, it was just for the hardware, excluding obviously the power supply, the um, computer case, etc. It was about just over 6,000 Rand, and it was a bargain. A complete PC, 32, well, 16 gigs of RAM, 1 terabyte NVMe, and 2700X AMD. Is it Ryzen 2700? Yes. And to be honest, that thing is performing like a machine. So yeah, it was actually quite nice. And see, the thing is, that's why I like the high core counts of the AMDs. You can
Yeah,
do so much more.
I was actually looking at it and I started speaking a new machine.
Yeah, but no, I wouldn't. buy any new hardware. It's 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 way too expensive. I'm sorry.
That's insane, dude. So now on your new machine or your the other machine, I mean you can't just run DNS on it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So well, so any other things you'd like to try out?
Well, well, I was looking at setting up a mail server. I think they said it's I read mail or something.
Okay,
Don't know if you've seen that before.
I read mail.
Yeah, something like that. Should be-
Another like mail. I read mail. Like
I
in
think
color red.
yes. Yeah, I read more. Is it I read more?
Don't you like your life?
All right.
John knows John Mail. Since 2007. Okay, I've never heard of this. How did you find this?
I was actually Googling a decent mail server that will work on Ubuntu. And so the majority of the posts I came across actually mentioned this.
So I'm used to the postfix and Exum and send mail and that type of mail.
Uh,
When I
okay.
think of
Yeah,
mail,
yes, I also saw that postfix, etc., in a couple of threads. But like I said, the majority of posts that came up was this I read mail.
you can deploy an open source, fully fledged, full featured mail server in several minutes for free.
Oh, Mahala.
We did the heavy lifting of putting all open source components together and applying best practices. Our product does all the major tasks for you. That's pretty cool. Tell you what, that's one thing that I think why there's a stigma. It used to be quite difficult to do a lot of stuff.
Yes.
Drivers, like for instance, and Bluetooth and Wi-Fi at one stage. I remember with my previous laptop, the Linux Mint, it just would not. I couldn't get my Wi-Fi working. Oh, you need this type of Wi-Fi. I'm like, why? You know, why is it not just working? Because I'm from this Windows background and I plug it, you know, I install it and it works.
Exactly.
Or I have a driver that I install. And now I'm going, who installs drivers, dude? You know, it just works. Install the thing and it
Just
works. And if I just compare how that's changed, like the support for stuff is just so much easier to use now. I wonder what's it
yeah.
using, like, oh,
I'm not sure. I actually haven't had time
spammer
to actually
sites.
go through it. But one thing I do like about it is like,
Oh, there's my
unlimited accounts. Forget about the products which pricing is ridiculous, like i.e. certain people.
So here's the thing, right? This is what I like. So
Yes. Yes.
okay, let me be clear. There is not an open source product that comes close to Exchange. I'm
Yep.
sorry to say that. I've been looking for years for something that competes with Exchange.
Hmm.
I even thought at one stage I'm going to write my own. No, no, that didn't happen. But it sucks, you know. But what I
Hmm.
like about this is, yeah, stores mail accounts in your favorite backend. MariaDB, MySQL, Postgre, you know, you choose, not what
Yes.
someone tells you to. That's what I like
Exactly.
about this, right? That's pretty cool. Quarantine the text spam to SQL, web admin. Wonder what admin panel they're using. Oh, give it. Oh, Zimbra. I've tried Zimbra.
Samba.
Zentil. Ah, jeepers. I haven't looked into this for a long time. This is quite cool. I just could never get it working properly. Like, I couldn't understand exactly how to get it working properly. Yeah, postfix. I wonder, is this install or can you run it like in a container?
I'm not sure. I was hoping you're going to help me with setting this up.
Oh, this looks cool. If you look at it.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I'm just waiting for that other drive so I can set up this new machine, and then we can set it up on there.
Downloadable installer. Okay. Easy web-based installation. One-click upgrade. Wonder, can you run it in a Docker? Yeah. Not production ready, but so that's the next thing I'm excited about. So like I said, my next cloud's running a Docker, and there's I ran too many Dockers on my Pi, and it died. And I had to
You
remove
killed
all
it.
the stuff. I did, and then I had issues with ports and I was like, I'm not in the mood for this. But there's a few cool things that I wanted to run,
Yes.
but now I want to do on a little Pi, and so now I'm just running literally the Xcloud in a container. There's this other thing you can look into. Oh wow, it slipped my mind. It blocks ads and stuff. What they call it, man. Ad.
I'm sure it will come back to you just now.
It will. It's a lot of people use it. It's actually it basically does a DNS type stuff for you, and it blocks ads and stuff. I spoke to one of my colleagues in the US about it the other day. He's running it at home. Anyway, you can run that in a Docker container. That's why I'm asking you what you're going to do on that server, because maybe look into Docker or some
Mhm.
some containerized
Yeah.
technology. That's a cool skill to learn, right? You spin up your Docker container, your container, and you can have different little containers for different apps, right? So you have
Okay.
like
Yeah.
a
No.
Rocket chat, and maybe that other thing and the mail thing, and it contains one server. And the cool
Yes.
thing is, now you want to move servers or your host is not supported anymore, and you've got a new machine. It sounds like it's pretty easy to move the containers over. I haven't done it, but
Okay.
it sounds like it's easy. So
Okay. Now you're gonna have to do like a little exercise with regard to that whole Docker story.
yeah, I took the
Mm.
cheap and easy way. There was a little script I got on the Pi. It just run. Now I can't remember the thing's name, man. Oh, it runs Portainer, which is like a container manager.
Mhm.
I don't really use it, but that's cool just to play with. That's a cool thing. There's so many different things, and then you use what you like.
Yes.
Oh, this is what I want to check. Okay, so sent those streams. So this is where the Rocky Linux. Oh, Rocky Linux 8. Cool. To run on there. All of them support the same stuff except OpenBSD, Net Data Monitor. I'm not exactly sure what that is. Webmail, calendar, contacts, tasks, and active sync services. That's cool. Mobile devices, iOS, Android, BlackBerry 10 work well with active sync. I'm surprised using the word active sync. Check out documents, set up mobile clients.
Yeah, so as you can see, it's actually it looks quite interesting.
Okay. I'll try it maybe on a little Docker on a VM. RedMail MariaDB. Okay. Never heard of it. This is very cool, man. Good find.
It just happened to pop up all the time in all the different searches.
I've never seen this RedMail. iRedMail.
Well, now you have,
I
and
know
you
that
have.
Zential. What was that other one they had here? Where was it?
Um,
Zimbra. I know.
well, I haven't seen actually any post with Zimbra in it. Not that I can
Reproducible
remember.
deployment. You see, this is what it should be like. Not the current stuff where you have to reinstall a damn server and takes you 2 hours.
Yep,
Colab
that's
I've
a nightmare.
heard about. Coupon I haven't heard about. Zimbra I've checked out. But if I remember Zimbra, I think a lot of you guys use Zimbra. Yeah. But you had to pay for licenses though.
Yeah.
You didn't like it.
I hated it.
Is it okay? Soga, I think read about it.
Okay.
But this was quite cool. Actually, I want to revisit this again. This was like this. I had this whole Lotus Notes feel, if I remember correctly, around
Mm-hmm.
this. Zentil, I'm not sure how you pronounce it. But this is a cool find. This looks promising.
Well, even like there's a guy said in his post here, any questions he had, almost everything was found in their documentation on the forum site.
Okay.
So, and that's actually, yeah, well, Microsoft has stuff, but it's never what you're looking for.
Yeah, I don't want to bash stuff, but
Yeah, but the thing is, that's just my personal experience.
the thing is, I think with Exchange is with the DAGs. I'm talking on-premise stuff and the way the resiliency worked in Exchange. I don't think there was anything that came close to it. The free busy type stuff. I haven't seen the free busy stuff on the other. Well, I'm not the expert on the other technologies, but free busy was a big thing for people. Um, I'm sure you can do mailbox sharing and delegation and stuff and others, but
Well,
the
the thing is,
DAGs and just the way you can move the databases across and all that was so much cooler,
but
than
you know what? Once we get it set up, we can actually play around with it and test and see what you can actually push this mail server to do.
I'm gonna play with this
What's its
because
capabilities? Yes.
they're saying it's easy to move to a newer version or newer server. We have now started a project to migrate our Exchange server and to use Open LDAP instead of Active Directory for application servers. Holy crap. This is 2017 already. Holy crap. Okay, that's cool. Has been running flawlessly for years. I've never been disappointed and will continue to use iReadMail for even more years. Okay, this is a very cool file. I'm going to play. Definitely. That's cool.
It's almost 4 years ago, this bust.
Yeah, let's play with this. Oh, then we can, in the next feedback, what we talk about.
What we came across, etc., etc.
Yeah. But, dude, go play with definitely go play with different desktop environments.
Okay. Yeah, well, I did install one GUI. I can't remember which one on the CentOS. But yeah, like I said, that was all just testing and messing about. So yeah, well, they definitely do the desktop thingies as well. See how that works, how user friendly it is, if I can navigate my way around it.
I'm gonna look for that thing. Personal data center. Raspberry Pi Cloud. There was a script that I used. It's got a little menu. You just pull everything down. Not on cloud. Yes, it's a Swedish dude. I saw it on his YouTube channel. Ah, well. I'll make a note of it for the next one.
Good stuff.
Lekker. Okay, cool, man. So we installed that. Okay, it was actually quite fast. Nothing exciting.
Well, I think all the Linux installations are like that. It just happens and then it's done. It's
exactly.
like,
Yeah. But cool. Yeah, I think this iReadMail thing was a good find. I think we'll play with that. We can check that out. Play
and
with
maybe
some other OSs, maybe server side. See what you'd like to use in the. Well, we've got Ubuntu running. Maybe try now CentOS.
Yeah, well, we can do that. And
on the new machine when you get the disk.
yes. Well, I've got a disk, but
there's so many.
Just need to get a new container for the disk.
So, ooh, pardon me. Let's see what these guys say. Ubuntu is rate number 1. Okay.
Be back just now. Okay. Just need to close a window.
RHEL is second. SUSE third. CentOS fourth. Debian's fifth. Oracle Linux. Never played with that. Mageia, I don't know it. ClearOS. That's the Intel one, I think. No, built by Clear Foundation.
What can I say? Winter is coming.
It's here.
Nah, not quite. Today was actually quite hot.
Ooh, actually, when I was at that company in Rivonia, I installed SUS on my laptop exclusively. I ran that for like over a year. My work laptop.
Oh, okay.
Did not look as sleek as this though.
But how long ago was it?
Yeah, that was what, 2005?
Yeah, dude, that's like 6 years ago.
No, that's more than 6 years ago, dude.
It's crazy how time flies.
So yeah, there's SUS. I haven't played with SUS in a long time. But I read that, obviously. Obviously, your servers don't look like this. I mean, you probably just run without a GUI.
Yeah.
I'd say try CentOS. See how it goes for you.
Yeah. Well, I was also
Rocky
thinking,
release this proper, then try Rocky maybe.
yeah. Just hopefully, well, do we have a date when it's gonna be released?
It shouldn't be too long, I suppose.
Because I actually want to get the testing done, the playing around, the breaking stuff, the fixing it again.
That's the beauty
I,
of it. It's so fast to install and break and stuff. So
no, we did it like I think 5 times.
yeah, and it's fast. You saw how quick this install was. The GUI install takes long though.
Yes, I
I've,
saw
I've
that.
seen it on the Rocky Linux. It took a while.
Well, even on the CentOS, it took a while
Is it?
when I
Okay.
installed the GUI. Yes.
Mine was relatively fast on my server, well, both servers, but this machine, I don't want to lie, I think 10 minutes and I can start downloading a Steam game.
Oh, fantastic.
It's so much faster. It just installs so much faster. Like obviously on SSD.
Yeah, well, SSD
I must
for the
time
win.
it. I must time it next time. I'm pretty sure it felt like 10 minutes and I could download Steam and run it.
Well, to be honest, for me, 10 minutes is long, but then again, try installing Windows Server.
Yeah, I had to do that a few weeks ago again, and
Yeah.
it was not fun. It takes a long time.
Yeah.
That's what I like about this as well. It's fast. It's quick to do stuff.
Yes, that's probably another thing that caught my attention. It's like quick and easy, and it works.
That's the thing. When you get used to stuff and how it works, you get kind of irritated.
Yes, I've
I now
noticed that.
understand why the Mac guys used to give me a lot of stick, right? Because it's just so much faster to do stuff. There's certain things that just work a lot better and a lot faster. I'm not saying everything.
Yeah, no, well, not every OS is perfect.
But I do have to say, sometimes when I do my updates on this Pop OS,
Mm.
it's happened twice now. When my boot partition runs out of space and it's a mission. Now I have to go and open this friggin' piece of software and go look for old kernels and select them because it's supposed to clean them up with a command, but it's not.
Mm-hmm.
So some bug, I think. But I have to go manually delete them. That's stupid, right? That shouldn't happen.
Yes.
But the cool thing is, now I can try a different kernel. I can roll back to another kernel, boot up my machine, different kernels, and with new features and stuff like that. That's very cool.
Yeah.
And the package updates broke a few times on me as well. We have to go like, oh, how the hell do I do this? Google, oh, okay, run this thing and do this thing, and then, okay, then you fix it and then you go. It usually happens with some of the bigger upgrades of the OS.
Oh.
So that's a bit sucky. It's not perfect.
Yeah, but it's quick.
But again, I find like you said, you find the solution in a few minutes.
Well, sometimes in a couple of seconds.
Yeah, because a lot of people had that issue, right? And the same day or previous day, and most of the time, like the same day or next day, there's a fix out. If you can get your system updated. Because if you can't get it updated, you can't get the fix.
Oh, actually, what's this? There's this other website I actually came across, and she's actually, I think it's a chick, I'm not sure. It's Linux Babe. And she's
Yeah.
got some good stuff there on her site.
New games. In the sky. That sounds cool. What's in the sky? Space trading and combat game. Super
Yeah.
Tux. Okay, so this is purely open source games. I do 95% of my gaming now on Linux.
That's impressive, huh?
The only game I
So,
can't,
so,
the only games
so
I
the
can't
only
play.
5% is the 5% we're playing.
Yeah, it's the 5% you guys are playing. Because the anti-cheat stuff I can't play. Although I did play one of the newer free-to-play games. Got released late last year. It's like a third-person shooter thing. It uses easy anti-cheat, and that worked.
Oh, okay.
I thought, oh, it's going to give me issues. It worked. Ran flawlessly. Anti-cheat everything. I know they're busy working, apparently, with anti-cheat people.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's good.
So
Because
if you can
I
fix
think the reason
that,
for that is also because they must probably had a lot of requests from gamers that decided
I
now
think
to move over to the Linux systems.
no, I think the market's so small that it's not gonna. It's probably community people or guys doing it on their free time.
Possible.
I played Battlefield 4 on this machine for about, I think, a minute or so, and then Punkbuster kicked me. It runs, it works, it runs, it's great.
Until Punkbuster decides
Then
otherwise.
Punkbuster kicked me, right? Call of Duty I haven't tried because it's just too freaking huge to download. I mean, I play Diablo, I play Heroes of the Storm. Most Steam games work. If I mean, wrap your head around how cool that you're taking a Windows game. It's written for Windows, and they've made it work on a complete different architecture, right? Like, oh,
Yeah, no, it's impressive, but when it comes to gaming, you don't want it to only just work, or it works fine and then you get kicked because of like Punkbuster or anti-cheat or that kind of stuff.
like I said, it's for some of
So-
them, but I
yeah, no,
think
it's
that's going to
some of them.
change.
Yeah, no, everything will change. Hopefully sooner rather than later.
Well, I hope so, because
Because if that is the case, and if they can get all that sorted.
don't get me wrong. Some of them run really crap though.
Mm.
Also, a
Yeah, but
handful. That's the handful. It really just sucks. It works, it runs, but it sucks. It's slow. Ark Survival's one. I can't get it working proper. It's
yeah,
just there was another
well,
one. The frame rates were just so crappy. But then now I'm talking. That had the what was that other one that Rust?
yes.
It ran. It worked, but I think it was Rust. What was the other one? Or was it Valheim? Because it's got the
Voila.
it had the Linux support, like native support,
Yeah, what
but it ran
Balam's
better
is
with
the one.
Proton,
Oh, okay.
which is just weird.
Oh, that is strange.
But it works. I mean, jeez, okay. I mean, that's pretty cool.
As you can see, she's got a couple of good articles or how-tos.
Oh, it's DNS over HTTPS. DNS dist. Modoboa. What? How do we set up a mail server with Modoboa? Nginx web server. Battle with Postfix and Dovecot. MySQL Oh, with the mailboxes. Buy a domain. That's important. So here's the thing you need to look at, right? It's one thing to install your mail server, but you want your SPF, DKIM, and DMARC and all those things set. You want to
Yes.
make sure you've got something that does proper antivirus and spam
Filtering, etc.
filtering. We're having quite a lot of issues with uncertificate. If you can run a Let's Encrypt, that should work, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
So we've had some issues with SPF and all that, and then some places would check your SPF record, and it depends what it's set to. It could just quarantine all your mail.
No.
So we've had some issues where we had to like change that and just the small things to check. But I mean, if you have those records set, then at least, you know, when you're sending an email, the recipient does a lookup. If they do that lookup, they can say, okay, it's supposed to come from this IP or
Yes.
these IP addresses and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, damn it. I'll have to play
But-
with that
but-
direct mail.
Yeah, you check this linuxbabe.com has actually got well almost anything and everything you're looking for.
It's very cool. You told me the other day about it.
Yeah.
Buy me a beer. Self-hosted. Here we go. You can self-hosted URL shortener. UPHP2. What the hell is that? Oh, play around on this website.
Yeah, no, it's good stuff there.
Yeah, I like
Definitely.
Okay. Cool, man. But this was fun. First,
Yeah. There's two fines for you.
2 fines, yes. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Well, I gave you some fines, desktop environments.
Yeah, no, definitely.
And yeah, but you say you've got a machine, you just need a disk.
Yeah, I've got a NVMe disk, but the converter it's in with a normal power and SATA connectors, it's a little bit different. You need a unit that fits onto it to actually use it.
I don't
So
even know
that's
what
it.
it looks like.
Well, instead of it's got normally gaps where you're putting your SATA on your power. Now this thing is just solid straight through. So you can't put a normal power and a SATA cable into it.
Okay, because I might have disks here. I just need to test. I've got disks lying around here, but they're probably.
I've
dead.
also-
I don't know.
I've also got like 10 discs lying around here, but they all work and they make that lovely ticking sound.
I'm not sure why I have these disks.
No, I think it's because they're too heavy and you don't want to throw something that's heavy away.
No, they're working, but they're just very small.
And the small ones normally work.
I don't know.
But-
I'll have to check.
No.
Okay, cool, man.
Good stuff.
That was fun.
Yeah, and I enjoyed this chat.
I will do it again.
No, definitely. So when is the next one?
I don't know how often we want to do this.
I think we can do it maybe every 2 weeks, starting off. If it's necessary, you can make it even once a week, depending
Yeah,
on schedules.
I think the. Let's chat. Let's see.
Mhm.
Maybe every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I was worried every 2 weeks we're going to forget, and third week, fourth week. Okay, well, let's check.
Well,
I don't
well,
want to overdo
if we
it.
do if we do skip a week, we can always just do it the following week as well.
Yeah, it will be on. I'll dump it on the website, and
Okay, no, perfect. And then I'll just get my PA to remind me.
it'll be yeah. So I'll gooi it, I'll put it on the next.exchange.times.net, and then on the Discord server also. But we can chat on Discords also.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Cool, man. Thanks. Yeah, let's
Okay.
have a look at that iRead mail. That looks cool.
Yes, no, we will do that, and we'll give it a good bash, and maybe I can even put it into production. Who
Yeah, we
knows?
can test it on your side and get your IP blacklisted and see how it goes.
I think we'll test it on yours.
Cool, man.
Okay, good stuff.
We'll chat soon.
Will do.
Okay.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.